Hey, today I want to talk to you about the importance of taking time off as worship leaders. Sometimes I'm sure that's easier said than done for a bunch of different reasons. But for me, my wife and I, we helped start a church here in our hometown about 15 years ago. And honestly, for those first 3 or 4 years, I don't know if we missed a Sunday. And it wasn't because, like we were obligated to be there or whatever. No, we wanted to be there every Sunday just to be a part of what God was doing. But fast forward a few years into it, we got a couple solid backup leaders, and then I switched jobs to where it requires me to travel 3 or 4 times a year, and that travel I leave on a Sunday, come back the following Friday. So it forces me to take time off, and the lesson in that I really learned was um, it gives opportunities for other people to kind of step up and maybe even elevate their skill a little bit, because they don't feel like the worship leader's not around, so there's not this preconceived expectation of how things are supposed to go, and the responsibility is on the person stepping up. I like giving people ownership in that way of and I'll still help with set lists and pick songs, but ultimately at the end of the day, I've told my team numerous times when I'm gone that I trust them. I trust them to make the right call, and it's great peace of mind that I can go. And I know for some worship leaders, maybe you don't have a backup yet, or maybe it's just not possible for you to take time off on a Sunday yet, and that makes it all the more critical then that you are not only feeding yourself spiritually during the week, but that prioritizing having that true Sabbath day where you're not working, you're not doing anything church related, that you are praying, that you are focusing on just some downtime, because it's good for us. I think a lot of times with how busy life is and how noisy things are, we can have a tendency to get lost in the busyness and just go through the motions. For me personally, a Sunday off makes me just appreciate my team that much more, and then really gets me excited to come back the following week and lead. And I think that's a good mindset to be in, is that when you go away from things and when you miss something, it's nice to miss something, and then it's nice when you get to go back and do it. And also uh, taking time off. If you can swing it on a Sunday, uh, it really is important for longevity and consistency, and to really avoid that the dreaded burnout. I think my situation might be a little unique in that, going almost 15 years strong, I have never been full time at the church, um, and the reason for that being is, um, I didn't want to be reliant on the church for my family's income. I am paid part time at the church, which is amazing, and it's a huge blessing. But my primary job, I've always worked another full time job outside of church, and I think that also plays a part into not really just getting to this place of exasperation and wanting to be done. And then within recent years, my wife and I and our kids, we've been able to take some great vacations, and those are it's such an important thing, to kind of pull away for just temporarily, and not necessarily pull away where there's a complete disconnect, but you're not at the church, you're not serving in any capacity. You still might be helping answer questions here and there, but at the end of the day, your Sunday, maybe you go to church at a different church while you're on vacation. When my family has been in California a couple times with me for work, and we visited friends' churches out there, and it's been great. Um, but consistent breaks, and it might take time. It might have to be something where, if you don't have a solid backup, maybe it's something that you try to connect with other local worship leaders who might have one or two backups, and you can say, hey, I'd love to have you come lead for a Sunday, whatever the case. But it's something that, again, we need to be prioritizing, so that we do miss it. That it's not just we're going through the motions and we're checking the box each week and we're picking the songs, and it's this tedious thing. I want for you mostly is to always be excited for worship, and taking time away, Sunday here or there, vacation here and there, is critical in all aspects of life, really, just that time to kind of reset, refocus, pray, ask God, God, will you open my eyes to maybe something that I can do to help the team, even a different perspective, and maybe watching the stream while you're gone for the church that says, hey, we've got some things that we can tighten up or that we can do. You just a fresh set or different perspective, different set of eyes on things definitely helps. Overall, when it comes to kind of sharpening that pencil and always keeping things in a steady incline of improvement rather than stagnating. And consistent time off is a big part of that. But man, I hope this just maybe sparks some thoughts in you. If you got any questions or if you need help with anything, please leave me a comment. I would love to maybe even have some one-on-one time coaching you through anything that you might need. But again, I hope this helps, and I hope you have great services this weekend. God bless.